Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you being here. If you're thinking about making a move to North Atlanta and specifically Sandy Springs, this may definitely be the video for you. We're going to give you a ton of options here as it relates to lots that you can buy and homes that you can buy, original homes, new construction homes, kind of like a really good perspective on what I call the three-tier system here in Sandy Springs, kind of on the lower end as far as budget and size and everything else is concerned, all the way up to the premium luxury, if you will, and just kind of show you a property that really you could do all three with here. But I think this is a really interesting idea or concept, and a lot of people are looking at Sandy Springs specifically, just north of Atlanta here, to kind of make this type of move. So anyway, let's get right into it now. Additionally, if you have not yet subscribed, make sure that you hit that subscribe button as well as tap the bell for the notifications so that you don't miss a single video about living here in Sandy Springs, living in North Atlanta in general, all the restaurants and work and play and, family stuff, all the concerts, anything and everything you want to do here in North Atlanta. It can be done here in Sandy Springs, but this is a great kind of epicenter for North Atlanta because it's right in the middle of Atlanta, North Atlanta at least. You're, 20 minutes from downtown. You're 20 minutes to Roswell and Alpharetta with unbelievable restaurants all around you, tons of parks and stuff. But today I really wanted to just kind of focus in on, we've talked a lot about investments here in Sandy Springs. We talked a lot about how much money, and how much house you can get for that money. So we covered anything from, I think $550 to like $750,000, which is kind of like that, entry level to mid tier, if you will. Certainly not getting into the several $1 million in homes that are available here. But today I wanted to show you guys this property and kind of give you three options as it relates to this particular property. Because I think a lot of people find this type of property interesting, but to me, I love to give my clients options or different opportunities, and this is a prime example of it. But if there's ever any, video idea, content idea that you have for us, or a particular price point you want to see here in Sandy Springs, or really anywhere in North Atlanta, we'd love to hear from you. You can comment down below. But also, if you want to schedule a Zoom call, you can do that up in the channel art. If you need, if you have questions about real estate here in North Atlanta, if you want to call, text, email, all of that stuff is down in the description. As always, if you're watching any of my videos, it's always there. But I just really appreciate you all being here. So let's get right into this video now. All right, so first let's show you what's here. This is a mid-century modern. This was actually built in 1958. So, a little bit older home, but in this particular neighborhood, this is pretty much par for the course. So you'll walk in and you notice your dining room here, your kitchen, galley kitchen over there. You got a little coat closet here, but look at these windows and the architecture. I mean, just a beautiful, again, original home. So, you're not gonna see a lot of modern touches and stuff. A lot of this home is original from 1958, I believe. And you can't quote me on this because we just don't have any documentation on this, but there's a carport, one car carport out here, and then you've got your laundry room, kind of mudroom area here, and then you've got like a little covered porch back there. So I believe that this was kind of covered in earlier. I can't obviously prove that, but it just has some of that feel to it. Obviously the original roof lines and everything, but nice little patio. This is a great size lot though. This is a 0.6 acre lot. I actually had this home listed for $550,000, which to be honest with you is about the price of a typical lot here in Sandy Springs. Now, certainly there are some cheaper lots out there, but there's more topography challenges on it that require more foundation work and therefore a lower purchase price, maybe in the 400s or 450s. But 500 to 550 is really like the middle ground as far as a lot goes. Now, certainly there are acre and 2 acre and 3 acre lots here in Sandy Springs that you can get for, $1 million to build pretty much whatever you want on that size property. But, for the middle of the market here, if you will, this is a great lot for potential build. But let's show you the rest of the house first here. So again, all original, kind of working our way over to the bathrooms and bedrooms here. This is a massive hall bath that, obviously pink tiles, so still all original and stuff, but good size bathroom, especially hallway bathroom, full bath for, 1958. You've got another bedroom here. or bedroom number 1 there, bedroom number 2 here with the closets and everything. And then you do have your primary here, which has its own ensuite bathroom. So again, nice 50s and 60s tile colors and choices, but you know, this was typical. This is a little more rare to find a big closet like this, and I know a lot of you are looking at this closet going, this is not big, and you're right, it's not. But for 1958, this was pretty much standard. So again, for what this home currently is, built in 1958, pretty much all original, you know, untouched in a lot of ways, to be at $550,000, again, you know, you can spend $400 to $600 easily on a lot that's a half acre to about an acre, maybe a little bit less. But in general, that's like the middle of the market, if you will, as it relates to a lot price. So you really have 3 options. Number 1, you could buy this property as an investment property. You could buy it to eventually retire into. Obviously, it's a smaller home. It's about 1,700 square feet, give or take. But with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and, you know, a decent size entertaining space here, it's definitely a viable option to buy it as is at $550,000. You might come in and paint some walls and, you know, clean up some things and replace some light fixtures, you know, little things like that. But really, to be into this house for about $550,000, and especially this lot for $550,000, is a great option as an investment. You know, your entry point's very low, so your out-of-pocket expense is also very low. But homes in this area generally rent for anywhere between $2,500 and $3,500. For some of these older homes, certainly some of the newer homes that are 4,000 and 5,000 square feet, you're going to get $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month. But for a traditional, you know, original home like this, this is pretty much what you can expect on the rental side. The second option that you have is that you could come in and not just renovate this house, but like blow this wall out and really open things up and keep the original architecture and design here, but really then add some square footage. So especially back here, as much as I love these windows and the architecture here, taking the other side of this wall and expanding those other bedrooms out and making a really large primary suite with a huge spa-like bathroom and a huge closet and all this stuff, while maintaining the other 2 bathrooms over here, as well as 2 bedrooms, really gives you a lot more options. And so, you know, something like that is going to run you $100,000 to $150,000, $200,000, obviously depending on finishes and how much work you put into it, how many walls you have to take down and support beams and LVLs you have to put up. But in general, $150,000 on average. Certainly it can be done cheaper, and certainly it can be done much more expensive. And you can do a ton of great finishes in here, a ton of great things to kind of complement the architecture. We've seen a lot of renovations in this area on homes like this that are absolutely beautiful. And then people will go out and get, you know, very congruent furniture. Mid-century modern is very popular here in Atlanta. There's a huge Facebook group for it. And anyway, I digress. The third option, and also, by the way, that second option, adding square footage, whether it's in the bedrooms or bathrooms or adding a 2-car garage up here, you know, or a 3-car garage. You know, this lot, you can kind of see the street down there. You've got about 125 feet from the front of the house down there, which gives you a lot of other options. So option number 3, though, is that you're going to tear this house down. You're going to buy this house for $550,000. You're probably going to put like $1 million to $1.5 million into this house as a new construction lot, which, you know, on this particular lot, you might be able to do like a partial basement in the front. The slope, as you can kind of see, we start high and kind of slopes down to the street there. But you can certainly do a 3-car garage. This lot's not very wide, but it's very deep. So I would use that to your advantage. If you had the opportunity to build something, you know, a little more linear, perpendicular to the street, that would actually be ideal, because then you could do a 2 or 3-car garage. You could really expand out the back here, maybe even do a pool, stuff like that. But, you know, then you're into this property for anywhere from, you know, 1.4, 1.5 to like $2 million, which, you know, is pretty normal for this area. The average price point's $750,000. And that includes all the old property as well as all the new construction. And there are some 10 and 12 and 15,000 square foot homes here in Sandy Springs that are new construction, have been built over the last couple of years. And then you have the, you know, smaller kind of original but a lot of those have been renovated, and that really is like the middle ground. So your first option is to buy it as an investment, to rent it out, come retire here, whatever you want to do there. Option number two is that you come in and you renovate heavily, and you take this $550,000 house to $750 to $950, again, depending on finishes and how well you do things and the extra square footage that you add. That certainly would help. And then your third option is just to completely scrap it and start over. And then that puts you in a totally different bracket as far as price point, but also as far as value goes. So the reason I wanted to show you this today was because this is a perfect example of, a nice little, almost level lot, but you still get a ton of options. It really opens up the opportunity. And a lot of people, their situation changes. You may buy this as an investment, and then the person that you sell it to, 3 to 5 years from now, might end up rebuilding a new home here, or completely renovating it and then living here and retiring here in Sandy Springs, and all the walkability to, or accessibility to City Springs and all the stuff that's literally right around the corner makes it a great option for that. So anyway, I do want to show you this backyard though. So I gave you just a quick view, but this is the neighbor's fence here, and then you've got another neighbor's fence over there, but you can't even see the back of this lot because it's so deep. So again, it's 0.6 acres. This house is like probably in the back third, like right on the edge. So actually, if this was the lot here, this little window here, let's back you out a little bit. Okay, so if this was the lot, right, this is the street down here, this is the back property line, the house probably sits like somewhere in there. So you still have all of this, and then you have all of this down to the street. So I believe this lot's about 300. So this is about 100. And I think the house sits somewhere in here. After looking at the survey, that's kind of what it looks like. So again, if you even move the house up closer to the street, now you really give yourself more options, but you can kind of get an idea of how narrow the lot is here. And that kind of restricts you a little bit. But I really appreciate you walking along with us here and looking at this original property, and then kind of hopefully giving you a vision of what it could be. But also, if you have a builder or an architect that you already work with, a lot like this is really, really desirable. And again, this is kind of right in the middle. You have some lots that sell for a little bit less. You have some lots that sell for a little bit more. And there's pros and cons to everything. A flatter lot like this, you're not going to get the full basement that you might want. You're not going to get, more square footage necessarily because of how skinny it is. But a lot of people will look at, a ton of topography on a lot and go, oh, that's going to be hard to build. Well, you can build a basement into that. And, if you want the extra square footage and if you can afford the extra square footage, that actually helps you. So anyway, but again, I just like to give my clients a full perspective. We actually did list this house. We're actually closing on this house today. But again, other properties like this exist, and I thought it was just really interesting to kind of give you guys a better perspective. Again, I know we talked a lot about Sandy Springs here. It's where I live, so it's easy for me to do content around it, but it's also my backyard. I know it really, really well, and I know what the homes look like and what things are selling for and what people are doing with these homes. But in the redevelopment video that we did, which I think we can include down in the description here, we talked a lot about investment in Sandy Springs, and not just private investment from big companies and Fortune 500, whatever, but also from the homeowner side, from the community members themselves. And this is a prime example of someone that's going to probably, keep this house for like a year or two. They're going to tear it down eventually and then rebuild a dream home or rent it out for 10 years and eventually renovate it and retire here, or, you've just got options, which I love. I absolutely love. I feel like most people buy the house for what it is, not what it could be, or they buy the lot for what it could be. And they just don't think about things differently. And I'm really trying to get my clients, both buyers and sellers, to think differently about real estate, what homes and what lots could be. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video though. Thanks so much for following along. Again, if you have not yet subscribed, make sure that you do that. Sorry for the little bit of reverb here, but tap the bell for the notifications as well. If there's ever anything that we can do for you, leave a comment down below. You can also shoot us a call, text, email, carrier pigeon. We can schedule a Zoom call as well. But anyway, hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.